Xiangling, an off-field Pyro DPS. Her E-skill summons Goblet, whose main role is to get a small amount of energy for her burst. Just make sure you place Goblet near the enemy, because once you place him, he will remain stationary. Her burst, Pyro is Xiangling's main source of damage. The Pyro can also hit as an elemental reaction on each hit it does to the enemy, as long as you apply an element. Like for example, when you apply Constant Hydro to an enemy, the Pyro will hit as Vaporize on every hit it spins. The burst also has an ability known as Snapshot, which means that as long as Xiangling is boosted before casting the burst, even if the boost disappears, the Pyro itself will continue to be boosted until it expires. The passive talent Crossfire helps Goblet stay in the range of an enemy, so he can continue to hit them for energy. The passive Beware, It's Hot makes Goblet, at the end of his duration, drop a chili pepper on the ground that gives a small 10% attack boost to any character who picks it up. For Xiangling's weapons, will depend on how much energy recharge you have on her, since her burst cost 80 energy. So if you're having trouble consistently getting her burst up every rotation, then she will want an energy recharge substat weapon. Otherwise, you can use a damage-focused weapon that has either a crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, or an elemental mastery stat for reaction-based teams. A perfect free option is the Catch that you can get for free in Inazuma. The best artifact set for Xiangling is the Emblem of Severed Fate. This artifact set helps Xiangling get 20% more energy recharge for her burst, as well as converts her total energy recharge into more burst damage. So for Sans, I recommend giving her energy recharge for burst consistency, as well as being able to convert energy into damage. However, Elemental Mastery and Attack percent Sans will outdamage this conversion of energy. And although Elemental Mastery and Attack percent Sans perform very similar to each other, they can still outperform each other depending on your weapon and team composition. So just be sure to balance out your stats accordingly. For her Constellation, C1. After Goblet hits an enemy, he will lower their Pyro resistance, so Xiangling and Pyro teammates can do extra Pyro damage to enemies. C2. When you use your final normal attack in her animation, she will apply a mark to an enemy for 2 seconds. At the end of 2 seconds, she will cause Pyro damage to enemies in the area, based on 75% of her attack. C3. More burst damage. C4. Xiangling's Pyro will increase by 4 seconds, making her burst last a total of 14 seconds long. C5. More skill damage. C6. When Xiangling's Pyro is active, all teammates, including herself, will gain 15% Pyro damage bonus. Just note that although Xiangling will get the Pyro damage bonus, her Pyro does not. And finally, I want to mention Bennett, because he is one of Xiangling's best teammates. This is because he can generate energy for her burst quickly, as well as boost her burst damage even further. And that is Xiangling, a powerful burst DPS.